Okay, so we've had a look at this main filter section here, and we've also had a look at the vowel mode. And in this video, we're going to look at the modulation section. So this is probably one of the most awesome things about the plugin. You've got extensive options when it comes to modulation, and you can get some really crazy sounds out of it. So the first thing to note is that you can modulate any of these. If you right click it, you can see all these options here, or in each of these down here, you know, you've got the option to adjust it down here. So you've got 4 different modulators, and we'll go through them left to right. The first one is the envelope follower. So this basically uses the amplitude of an audio signal, the incoming audio signal, to create a control curve which will adjust this. So if I turn up the gain here, it's already up, and I play this drum loop, you'll be able to see how it affects the sound. So that would be a good thing to use for plucks and stuff like that. And you can also focus the frequency. So, you know, if we have a clap around here and we want it to punch through, we could, you know, do that. You can hear that the clap punches through. Yeah, I haven't used that too much, but I'm sure people can find use out of it. The next thing is the LFO, and I'm sure you all know what an LFO does. The infamous dubstep wobble would be a fine example of its use. But basically in this LFO you've got quite a lot. You've got about, how many is there? Quite a lot of different wave shapes here. I think there's about 7, 8-ish. All these different wave shapes, and then you've got speed, tempo, sync, and you can of course change this to 3. So you go by hertz as well. And I can give you an example of this. Sorry. If we wanted to modulate this bass line. So you get the idea, and that's pretty cool. Normally you would do that inside a synth, but of course with the WOW2, you can do it externally as well, which is pretty awesome. And of course you could adjust your resonance on that. Get some nasty sounds. The next thing is the step sequencer. Now this one's a little bit more complicated. It's basically, if you've used Native Instruments Massive before, it's a bit similar to their performer mode. But basically this will adjust the cutoff or whatever thing you're modulating, depending on the height and sort of direction it's going in. As you can see by that. So that's pretty cool. Probably won't sound great if I play it now, but we can have a listen. And you can change the direction here to backwards, forward and back, which means it will just go forward and then back, I believe, and also random. And of course, this button here gives you a new random wave shape every time. Sorry, not wave shape, but step sequencer shape. So that's pretty cool. That's the step sequencer. And finally, you've got the wobbler. Now, this thing, honestly, is pretty crazy, to be honest. I haven't used it in a song, and I don't know if I ever will, but it's very similar to the LFO section, except a bit more complex. So you've got 12 different LFO speeds, and you've got 16 different waveforms, and you can of course change any of these. And not only that, but you can adjust the phase next to its use, which is pretty awesome. And there's also fixed values available, I believe, which is cool. And along with that, you've got a random function and interpolate, wherever that is, can't remember. But yeah, the wobbler, pretty crazy. I'm sure you could get some cool stuff out of that, especially when using pads or modulating effects. It's one of those things that you really have to spend some time with. But basically the modulation section, you can modulate any of these. You can use all of these at once. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, crazy stuff. So that concludes our overview series for the WOW2 filter. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope if you purchased it, then you're starting to understand it. If you haven't purchased it, then maybe you're looking to buy it. Of course, you can read our 3-page review to get a better understanding, to better guide your purchase decision. Other than that, we will have some tutorials coming on specific sounds soon. And until then, I'll see you later.